Well, there it is. There's my mistake for the night. Sitting here chatting for another 5 minutes. This time I'm live. It just looked like a fool because I'm muted. Let's do this again. What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan Mapes here at the Mapes Mindset. I am a NASM certified nutrition coach and here to help break down different bits of information into hopefully easy to digest format and give you guys a better understanding of different topics to help you make a more informed decision for you. Each one of us is different. Just because something works for me or Joe over there doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to work for you. So I have found the best way for me to put programs together that work is to understand something. And in order to do that, I need to research. I took out the research for you guys, and I'm just going to break it down. If you don't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss any of these live streams or otherwise. We do have podcasts that will hopefully be rolling out soon again, and then other videos as well about various different topics. I've got recipe ideas and many other things I want to be putting together. And then, we do these live streams each and every Monday night. Could be any topic. I like to cover different questions that you guys as listeners, viewers have, or different themes that I notice clients asking. Like I said last week, I covered macronutrients, what they were. We broke each of them down a little bit vaguely, I guess you could say. Kind of leaves us room to explore each of them a little bit more in depth individually rather than spend 3 hours chatting about all of it. If we break it down into a little bit easier to digest bites, hopefully you guys find that easier to use. So with that, let's get into it. What are healthy carbs? We'll start at the very beginning and just talking about the different types of carbs that are out there. You've got simple and complex carbs. Simple carbs are carbs that have one or two sugar molecules, mono or disaccharides. Complex carbs have three or more sugar molecules, polysaccharides and other ones, but those are the main ones. So you have your simple and your complex. Simple, those provide you your quick energy. Those are candies, your fruits, just plain sugar, raw sugar. That's your simple carbs. You can also classify simple and complex carbs as fast and slow digesting. So simple would be a fast digesting carb, and complex would be slow digesting carbs. The fast carbs, you can consider them to be a little more processed. Typically, you're looking at your white breads, your white sugars, white rices, candies. Yep, those are all fast, simple carbs. How it spikes your blood sugar. Get into the complex carbs. Those there's more sugar molecules tied together. Those again are slow digesting carbs. Think less processed, if you will. They'll take longer to break down in the body, and therefore they don't spike insulin or spike your blood sugar like the fast, slow digesting, or the simple, fast digesting carbs will. Examples of complex carbs would be your grains, vegetables, beans, lentils, things like that. Um, the less processed, it's not always true, but it's a pretty good rule. You're thinking brown rices. Oh, yeah, raw vegetables. Those are all not processed. Gotta get a link out for our newsletter. Um, Sorry, got sidetracked for a quick second while I grab this link. If you're not signed up already, you'll want to click the link in the chat going in now. Every Monday, I send out just a quick little, we call it the Growth and Go newsletter. We cover a lesson learned from the previous week. I give a positive affirmation for your week ahead, and then any general news or updates regarding the Mapes mindset and happenings going on around my world. So, again, I'm going to throw that link in the chat now. That goes out every Monday. It's called the Growth and Go. All right. Jump back into healthy carbs. So, how about some top sources of healthy carbs? Kind of already mentioned it. Whole grains, got your brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat bread. Got lots of different breads out there now that have all kinds of different nuts and grains and oats and what have you. Fruits and veggies. You're looking to eat the rainbow. The more colors, I don't know if you've ever heard that before, eat the rainbow with your fruits and vegetables, but the more diverse the colors you're eating from, the more diverse the vitamins and minerals that you're able to get into your body. Vegetables, fruit also are higher in fiber, which is very, very important for not only digestive health, but also heart health and just general health. It keeps you feeling full longer. So if you're trying to lose weight, you can add or increase the fiber in your diet to help keep those cravings at bay. Just overall very good to increase fiber in your diet. We as Americans tend to have a very low fiber diet. And the more and more I look at things, if you aren't paying close attention, you're not getting enough fiber at all. I'm wondering if that is one of the reasons Americans tend to have a little bit higher heart disease issues. I have no idea if there's any link there or not, but there's a lot of benefits to fiber, and our diet is extremely lacking in it. So I do wonder if some of our health issues would be solved if we could just clean up our diets a little bit. Carrying on, legumes and lentils, any sort of lentils, beans, whatever. There's all kinds of them out there. Dairy, those can also be a good carb. Few different issues with dairy. One, some people or quite a few people tend to be lactose intolerant. I believe most people are lactose intolerant in some form. It just doesn't always present itself terribly. But all that means is you're missing the enzyme that is required to break down lactose. So that's what causes the lactose intolerance. You can take a supplement to give you that enzyme if you would like, or you can just stay away from dairy products. Sugars, they tend to be added to dairy products in high quantities, or some dairy products. Uh, I eat cottage cheese almost every single day. I try to make sure it's a lower sodium one, and yeah, they don't add any sugar to that at all. Got my pencil. Yogurts, I am very careful with my yogurt. I try to stick to Greek yogurt, and then even then, I try to watch for the no sugar added, or just try to stick to plain, because the sugars in yogurt is out of control. There's, I think, 4 teaspoons at least in most serving sizes of a yogurt. Greek yogurt, it doesn't matter. Some of them are even worse. Um, Dairy can also be higher in fat, or increase the fat in your diet, and saturated fat is something you need to be careful for, which can be in dairy. So be careful with that. But it is a chance at good carbs, also to help increase your protein. So, next we got how carbs impact your energy levels. When you eat a meal that has carbs in it, your body starts to break those down. It turns those carbs into glucose, which is then carried or sent into your bloodstream. Once it's there, insulin carries that glucose to your cells. Once it's at the cells, it is used or stored for energy. Glucose is necessary for all bodily functions: brain function, breathing, physical activity, anything you do, you need glucose. Carbs are critical in order to create glucose. If you don't want other forms, other macronutrients converted to that glucose, you want that allocated for other things, you need to be making sure you're taking that in. Otherwise, you're going to need to increase other macronutrients to make up for the deficit, and it is also extremely inefficient. Those processes are extremely inefficient and can make you feel like crap, which is why there are 3 main macronutrients that are recommended for you to intake each and every day. Certain levels of these macronutrients each and every day. Yeah, I could get into how they affect your energy levels a lot more, but that gets extremely scientific, and I really don't feel like doing all of that in this specific episode. If you'd like to hear more about that at some point, ask away, and I will absolutely set aside time to get into it. But in this setting tonight, we're not going to cover it. So how about some tips for balancing your carb intake for optimal health? Americans, or in the American diet, we can be skewed heavily towards carbs and fat. It's not, what am I trying to say? Not really our fault, but we allow it to continue to happen by not paying closer attention to our diets and what we're putting into our bodies. Therefore, we're not able to get out of our bodies what we need, and we die early, we get sick, we're overweight, we have no energy, litany of other problems that a poor diet brings up. But some tips to help reduce your carb intake, possibly your fat intake as well. Sugary beverages. This is the number one recommendation I give to all of my clients. What are you drinking? How many pops do you have a day? How many energy drinks per day? How much creamer are you putting in your coffee? How many trips to Starbucks are you having? How many or are you taking? How many lattes are you having? All of those calories add up. People do not even think about those calories most of the time. They can be empty calories. Now, there are ways to make them not empty. One of my clients has, instead of using a sugar filled creamer, she created her own protein creamer. So now she's getting 20 grams of protein in the morning with her coffee, and she says it tastes better than her creamer before. So there's different ways you can experiment with ways to drink something that tastes good, but not necessarily get the huge sugar intake. You can also increase your vegetables or fruits, I guess, as well. Those, again, tend to be higher in sugar, which isn't necessarily something you want to do, but if it is the only way you can try to get some more whole foods rather than processed sugar-filled crap in your diet, by all means, please start eating fruit. But vegetables, they will help keep you fuller longer. They're very satiating. They're filled with fiber. It's just good. And vitamins, minerals that are crucial for your body to function properly. Dogs are barking. Apologize for that. I'm also going to throw a link up in the chat for our blog. Once or twice a week, I write a different article, various topics. I try to keep an eye on Google trending and see what topics people are searching for most and try to keep something close to that. But Mondays, Thursdays, typically I put a blog up, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the link up for just our general blog. Head on over, check that out today. Mondays, I write a blog article covering the topic that we're going to talk about in the live stream, so kind of just get a little more in-depth into it during our live stream. But if you'd like to get a early head start on the info, you can definitely check it out in our blog. Those were the few different areas I had that I wanted to cover about carbs. Again, we're just kind of slowly getting into each one of these. We'll expand more on whatever it is you guys would like next. So we talked about healthy carbs, difference between simple and complex, or simple is also fast digesting carbs. Complex carbs would also be a slow digesting carbs. Examples of simple carbs: candy, fruit, sugar, white bread. Complex carbs would be grains, vegetables, lentils, things like that. Simple, you can think of as processed. Complex, you could think of as not processed. It's not always the truth, but it's a decent rule of thumb you can follow. We also talked about top sources of healthy carbs. Got whole grains, fruits and veggies, lentils, legumes, dairy. Any carb, I would say, you can fit into your diet in moderation. Wouldn't necessarily say they're healthy, but that doesn't mean you need to exclude it from your diet. Just keep it in moderation. That is always the key. Talked briefly about how carbs are digested and broken down by your body and how they impact your energy levels and are stored for later use. Gave a couple tips for helping to balance out your carb intake to help increase your overall health. Those included reducing your sugary beverages. Pops, juices are also very high in sugar, added sugar. That is what you really want to stay away from. Natural sugar isn't as bad. I say fruits are a simple carb, and they are, but fruits in their whole form are surrounded with their fiber, all of the bits and pieces that come along with it. So it slows down how quickly your body can break that down. If you eliminate all of that fiber from the juice, it is now that much quicker to be absorbed by your body, thereby spiking your glucose levels, your blood sugar levels, and possibly having negative effects. But juices are also very high in sugars and sometimes added sugars, so you want to keep an eye on that. Coffee, that's one that gets a lot of people. Most people don't pay attention to how many calories are packed into them or into their morning coffee. Your lattes, your caramel macchiatos, and all these crazy different concoctions that have been come up with over the years are loaded with sugar, and it's not not a good way to start your day. Caffeine, black coffee, I'm good there, but you start adding in all of that other stuff, and it's a recipe for disaster. Your calories are quickly consumed with emptiness. You don't get much satiety from sugar. And then you can also increase your fruits and veggies. Try to focus on the veggies if you can. Those help keep you fuller, longer, and come with the added benefit of fiber. That did it for what I had tonight. Quick recap there for you. Make sure you hit that like button. Appreciate all the support I get from you guys. If you don't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you don't, and keep that little notification icon on. That way when we go live on Mondays, you don't miss out and you can hang out with us. Again, I appreciate all your guys' support. We're also on social media. We're the Mapes Mindset. Anywhere you're at, we're at. Got daily content going out. Most of the time it's related to the weekly topic, but sometimes there's added bonuses in there as well. Could be anything from challenging your mindset and helping you set goals to different recipes and things going on in my life. So again, the Mapes Mindset, or my name is Ryan Mapes. Follow anywhere on social media, wherever you're at, we're at. Again, thank you guys. See y'all later.